Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Squash Match Wrestling Podcast. I'm Jake the Snake Matthews. I'm joined once again by Jet Li. It was brought to my attention last week that I did not introduce myself, actually. and I didn't think that'd be much of a problem because I got like that graphic with our names in it. But, audio listeners are a thing, apparently. So, yeah, there we go. That's who I am. Like I said, once again, we're joined by Jet Li this week. Jet Li, how you doing?
Doing good, man. We're officially, less than 2 weeks away from Mania?
Yeah, we got next week, and then I think we're on our way there.
Yep. Gonna keep it short and sweet just because I know we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, we do. First thing, I have an announcement going forward about squashmatchwrestling.com. We're going to take a moment of silence for my poor website because I came to the realization. I was talking to my friend Colin the other week, and I would ask him pretty much since I started the website. I was like, dude, did you read my post this week? He's not a wrestling fan, so he has really no reason to read it anyway. But I
hmm
was like, hey, did you read my thing this week? And he was like, nah, man, I'm not reading all that. And I came to the realization, I get like maybe 5 views on the whole thing, like every single time I post one, and people don't read shit anymore. So yeah, we're gonna be going forward. We're gonna be all here on YouTube. I just posted my first Raw review earlier today, actually. By the time this posts, it'll be yesterday. But yeah, that is up there now. I guess we could dive into our first topic here today. We got a lot to cover. A lot happened this week. We had some questions answered. We had more questions arise, especially last night on Raw. But we also have something really unfortunate that we're going to get into first, just so we don't randomly kill the vibe later on in the episode. And that is Kevin Owens' announcement that he had on SmackDown. Kevin Owens came out and he addressed the WWE Universe about an injury that he has been fighting for, what did he say, about 4 months now?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Kevin Owens is going to get neck surgery. He will miss WrestleMania, and he said he doesn't exactly know when he'll be back. Now, to me, this is like one of the worst things that could have possibly happened. Although I was pretty invested in the Randy Orton Kevin Owens feud. I was way more excited for this match, especially because they've been teasing the punt kick, which we haven't seen in so long. What did you think about Kevin Owens when he first gave this announcement?
So at first, I honestly thought it was like part of the storyline, but then it started to sound more genuine, and especially with like the history of the WWE and neck injuries, that's really not something that they normally do. So I was like, as soon as he mentioned it was his neck, I'm like, oh God, it's actually something like serious.
Yeah, this was similar to like when Edge came out and he said, I have to retire. Like, there's not really much I could do about it. Like, like at this point, like his life is at risk. What I was thinking though is like, it's crazy how we had those 2 matches this year already, like the Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, and especially a ladder match with Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. Like those matches were insane. I can't imagine that did any help to his neck. I don't know. Like, did you think about that at all? Like,
I mean, you gotta give it up to Kevin Owens. I mean, he is such a company guy. Like, he will put his body on the line. And, like, I feel like people, especially within that company, they want to, like, wrestle KO just because of, like, how safe he is. But at the same time, like, he loves what he does.
yeah, like when you think Kevin Owens, like multi-time WrestleMania main eventer, multi-time world champion, he's held pretty much every honor there is in the company, other than like what winning a Royal Rumble or something. But that's not the most important thing. What are some of your favorite Kevin Owens moments like of all time?
I think the number one has to be him winning the Universal Championship when Triple H turned on Rollins. It's unfortunate because I feel like he should have had a better reign, but that was like such like I guess like a dark time, especially in like what was it like 2016,
Yeah, like mid
2017?
mid 2010s.
Yeah, like I feel like that was such like a rough time, but I feel like that, but also, and I feel like this doesn't really like get enough credit, but I feel like a lot of his stuff, like him and John Cena, like when those two were feuding at it when he was first like getting onto the main roster, I think that was like some of his best work.
Yeah, didn't he? Was his debut during that John Cena Open Challenge for the United States Championship. Was that where he debuted, or was that
Yeah,
it was around that
because
time?
he debuted around there because he was the NXT champion at the time.
Yeah. I remember that because I remember seeing him coming out and like having a great match with John Cena. I was like, oh shit, like this guy's gonna be something special. One of my favorite KO matches is actually like a recent one. I liked the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens tag team match against the Usos at WrestleMania 39.
Yeah, I think you can't top that. And you just mentioned Sami Zayn. I was actually reading something earlier before the podcast, and this is going to be the first WrestleMania in I think 5 or 6 years that we won't see KO or Sammy on the show.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because now, like with the power of hindsight, it's like okay, Kevin Owens is gonna miss WrestleMania. Not that we knew that, but it's like Sami Zayn is missing because of Kevin Owens, like storyline wise, like not obviously like KO killed him or anything, but like
Mm.
Sami Zayn is missing because of this big match that he had with Kevin Owens. He's taking some time off. He's gonna miss the biggest show of the year. And I would have liked to see Sami Zayn somewhere. I don't know where he would have fit at this point, but in terms of WrestleMania now, Randy Orton is left without an opponent. What do you think they're going to do with Randy Orton? Are they going to keep him off the show, or what kind of match do you think they could see him in?
They had to put Orton on the show. I feel like in some way, shape, or form, just because he's had so much build up into it, and it's like you can't really just pull out a legend like Randy Orton off the card. And I was talking to you about this. I think it'd be really cool because of the fact that he did RKO Nick Aldis. I would love to see Nick Aldis officially make his like in-ring debut for the WWE at Mania.
Yeah, because he's like a lot of people don't know this, but Nick Aldis, he went by the name of like Magnus, right? In like
Yep.
the indie scene, and he was like pretty good. Like he was like a pretty recognizable indie star, and now that he's just Nick Aldis, people don't think about him as a WW like a wrestler, like a superstar. But he had great matches with like I believe him and Cody Rhodes on the indie scene. They've said have had good matches. But yeah, he's like an indie legend, so I think that that's a cool option. I couldn't really think of too much just like storyline wise that they could just straight up drop him into. I don't want to see him just get dropped into a title match or something like that. I think
Mhm.
they could do something similar to what they did with Seth Rollins when Cody Rhodes debuted and do like what do you call it, like a surprise opponent kind of thing. If that were to be the thing, I'm not sure who they would debut there. I mean, Malachi Black, they've been advertising on SmackDown for so long now. Maybe they could redo something and have his debut be there. But as of right now, I'm not really sure what they could do with that. That's probably gonna be my option though. Maybe it's a surprise opponent match and it turns out it is Nick Aldis. I think that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, I feel like if it isn't Nick Aldis, I feel like Malachi Black would like easily be acceptable because people are still waiting on him to return, and why not have him return at Mania against Orton?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, I'm sure they had something planned for him, but I mean, shit changes all the time.
Mhm.
Anything else on Kevin Owens before we move into our next topic here?
No, I just hope he has a speedy recovery and hope to see him in the ring soon.
Yeah, yeah. How long? Actually, one more thing. How long do you think it'll be until Kevin Owens comes back? Because I saw a thing online that said it could be over 2.5 years, but people come back quicker than that all the time.
It's hard to tell with a neck, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone for more than 2 years, honestly. I mean, we look back at the neck injuries in the WWE. Most of these guys are out by like 2 or 3 years, and some even don't even come back.
Yeah, yeah. It really sucks. I just same thing though. I just wish Kevin Owens a speedy recovery. I hope we could see him sooner than later. Kevin Owens probably up there, one of my all time like recent favorites as of right now. So yeah, he will certainly be missed. Anything else here? Any final thoughts on KO or no?
No,
All right,
I'm all good.
all right. Let's move into our next topic. Something big that happened on SmackDown, and I want to I'll brag a little bit about this being right. The favor we saw was it did turn out that it was Paul Heyman will join CM Punk at WrestleMania. He'll walk down to the ring with him. What were your reactions when you first saw what the favor actually turned out to be?
So prior to watching a SmackDown, I saw a clip on Twitter about um with the whole like Paul Heyman and CM Punk segment back in like 2014. It was like Paul Heyman was like, "I will be there to walk you down," like in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm like, if they're doing the whole long term storytelling, that's definitely the favor.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. I believe either you sent that to me or I sent that to you, and you told me you saw that literally like a couple of minutes ago after that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'll just brag about it. I was a little bit right. I don't think. Okay, so after this, I don't think that Paul Heyman will stay with CM Punk because just reiterating what I said last week, CM Punk doesn't need a right hand man talking for him. Like Brock Lesnar needed that. Brock Lesnar's not known for his mic skills or anything. Roman Reigns, even at first, wasn't too great on the mic. We all remember Big Dog Roman Reigns. Not the greatest,
Jeez.
not the greatest mic worker. John Cena kind of obliterated him that one time. But yeah, I don't think Paul Heyman will be staying with CM Punk there. Um, hold on, where was I here? Um, in terms of on Monday, what we saw, that segment between Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Um, Seth now is owed somewhat of a favor. What were your thoughts on Monday as you were watching that happen?
I honestly thought Rollins was going to pull the trigger and stomp Heyman into the canvas. But when I saw the sidestep, I'm like, they're definitely playing into a Rollins favor now. And I feel like now it's even harder to determine what Rollins' favor is going to be.
Yeah, I literally in my Raw review that I posted earlier today. Excuse me, but I posted that earlier today, and I even said I was like, I have no idea what this could even like possibly be. Like, is it? It's not going to be taking one of them out of the match. Is it? Do you think they're even going to reveal it? Like maybe we'll see it after WrestleMania. Maybe we'll see it formulate at WrestleMania, like during the match. Like maybe he slides him a steel chair, or he screws Roman over, or he screws CM Punk over. I don't know. I really have no idea.
Yeah, no, like I honestly couldn't tell you what Rollins' favor could be. Like I have like no historical like ties between Heyman and Rollins.
Yeah, there's literally like nothing to go off of here. This is like the most fresh thing we could see. Although, I said this last week, and I meant to go a little bit more in depth on it than I actually did. But I think that Seth Rollins is going to win this match one way or another, and I think that this favor could be the way that he gets away with it.
I agree. I mean, I feel like Rollins has been in such like a losing streak. I don't even know what like Rollins's Mania like record is, but I know it's not great.
Yeah,
Like he deserves like a big time win, and why not do it against Punk and Reigns?
yeah. A lot of people were saying online as I was watching this whole thing unfold. It was like, where does Seth really fit into this storyline? Because on SmackDown, and even at the first initial contract signing, it was like it kind of just felt like CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins just coming for the ride, But now, I feel like he really has more coming into this.
Yeah, and I think it just goes back to like them like being together like during the Shield debut. I mean, there's so much like historical like context that it's probably more in depth than what people are really looking into.
Yeah. Um, I don't know though. I'm really looking forward to this match. So I think it's gonna be one of the best shows of the night, and I think Seth Rollins really does deserve the win here. Like you said, he hasn't been successful. Well, he's been successful at WrestleMania, but he hasn't been necessarily every single year successful at WrestleMania. And I think they could definitely get away with something where it's like, Roman Reigns and CM Punk are so busy with each other. Maybe in the end they forget Seth Rollins is there. He gets his favor from Paul Heyman, ends up screwing one of those two out of the match, and not like it's like a one-on-one at that point, but it's like Seth Rollins and say CM Punk, for example, going at it. They're already beat up. Maybe he just got speared by Roman Reigns or something, and Seth Rollins takes the win. I think that would be so big for him. You know, I'm a Seth Rollins guy, right? Like I've liked Seth Rollins since I uh, rekindled my love for WWE, I guess, a couple of years ago. So I don't know. I've just been rooting for Seth so much lately, and even when CM Punk came back, like their feud initially, what I thought it was going to be was like a best 2 out of 3 kind of thing. Like they were going to have one match, Punk would win one, another one, Seth Rollins would win one, and then it would culminate all at WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. But that Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix kind of shut that down a little bit for me. The steel cage match that they had was a little bit of a surprise to me that they even had another match. Um, but yeah, I think Seth Rollins definitely needs to get one over on both of these guys.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Rollins' gear is gonna be going
Oh
into this
yeah,
match.
he always has something great. Do you think he would show up in Shield uniform again?
I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean he brought it out last year to kind of taunt Roman Reigns, but I think we could see something like an all black Seth Rollins. Like even if he doesn't wear the vest and the gloves and everything for the match, like maybe he comes down from the crowd. But he always has a big celebratory entrance theme. Like last year he had the that dance party or whatever for Drew McIntyre's match, which was crazy. That
Yeah.
was one of the entrances of the year for me. But yeah, looking forward to it. I always love seeing Seth Rollins, especially at WrestleMania. He's always a big attraction there. Anything else on the favor before we move into our next topic here?
Um, no, I think this triple threat is definitely gonna have a lot to deliver. And especially since I think they pointed this out on Raw. This is Roman Reigns' 11th WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, that's crazy. Most all time, I think.
Yeah, because he broke it last year.
Yeah, I kind of like the angle that they were going. Like, hey, Seth Rollins or CM Punk is in the main event because of Roman Reigns. Like, he's like, oh, look at this guy crying. You know, he finally got his dream. I've done it however many times already. This is nothing to me.
It's wild to think that he's already been in 11 WrestleMania main events.
Yeah, a lot of them not as memorable as some other ones because especially during the big dog days, it's like people didn't. I don't want to say they didn't care about Roman Reigns, but he was kind of like shoved down our throats a little bit. Like people like
Hmm.
liked him, but they didn't want him there every single year. I saw another crazy statistic. It was like this is the first time in what since like 2015 or something that WrestleMania isn't headlined by like Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns in a title match. It was something like that.
That's actually wild to think like how like much those two have been like in the main event scene.
Yeah, yeah, especially during the Vince days. We know Vince McMahon obviously has a thing for Brock Lesnar. You know, not that I want to get too deep into that wormhole, but anyway, anything else on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, CM Punk while we're here?
No, I'm good.
All right, all right. Next, SmackDown. Ray Phoenix's debut match. I thought it was crazy. Now, like I said last week, I'm not a big AEW weekly watcher. I hadn't seen too much of Penta or Ray Phoenix before they debuted here in WWE, but personally, I love him already. What did you think about that match against Nathan Frazier?
I love the fact that it was against Nathan Frazier. Like honestly, like the NXT tag division is insane with Fraxium. And Nathan Frazier, um, being like one of the students of Seth Rollins, you could tell like he has like that Seth Rollins like wrestling style, and if I feel like it just fits so perfectly against Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, for sure. They like when they mentioned that during the match, like I said last week too. I'm not a big weekly NXT watcher. Obviously, I've seen Firaxium before. They are awesome. They're spectacular. They're like one of the best things in NXT right now, which is saying a lot because NXT is all over the place. Everything is awesome over there. Um, but this was my first real like big taste of him, especially as a singles competitor. And I thought they put on an awesome match. There was that one botch over the top rope that Frazier, or not over the top rope. He did like a suicide dive through the second rope. Did you hear the chants from the crowd? They were like chanting like "you fucked up" or something, or like "you suck" or something like that. Did you hear that at all?
No, I don't think I picked the, I don't think I picked that up.
Yeah, I heard it and I was like that's a hard thing to do, you know? Like I'd like to see some like big overweight middle-aged dude in the crowd try and do something like that. And then like to yell like "you suck" or like it's like come on, dude. Like this is like his SmackDown debut too. Like I'm sure these two guys were like super nervous and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think people deserve to be hated like that, especially cuz they're just here for your entertainment, you know? Just like watch it and enjoy what's going on. Um Speaking of enjoying what was going on though, the match itself was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I actually can't believe we got that on a SmackDown.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're giving Ray Phoenix like the Penta treatment too. Like they're treating him like this big star coming in. Like if you noticed his entrance music, I don't know if it was Def Rebel or not, but it certainly didn't feel like it. He has an actual awesome entrance for once. The crowd knew who Ray Phoenix was. They were all for him too, all throughout the match. So I thought that that was great for him.
Yeah, and I don't know if you picked this up, but his logo is like the exact same as Penta's,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. They teased a little bit. The commentary team teased a little bit about the Lucha Bros. Like they talked about them a little bit being a tag team and stuff. And I don't know. I just thought that was awesome. Did you take you know how Ray Phoenix at the end of the match he got his like Penta moment again where they came up, they gave him his mic, and they were like, you know, how you feeling, dude? He was like, I am WWE. Did you take that as like another fuck you to AEW? Like a Ray Phoenix is all elite or whatever. Ray Phoenix is a or is WWE. Like, did you notice that at all or no?
Here's the thing: everyone that has left AEW is already a major star, whether it's in the main roster or NXT.
Yeah,
It's a big fuck you, especially in NXT.
yeah, yeah. We got another fuck you to AEW too when CM Punk took the camera on SmackDown and he put it like hard cam side and he was like, look at how sold out this place is. That was
Hmm.
awesome. Chicago crowds are great too, so I thought that really helped out this match too. Like I feel like people in Chicago they just like they know wrestling more than almost anywhere else in the country. Like you know, like if anybody was gonna know Ray Phoenix's history, it would have been Chicago. So I thought that this was a really good place to debut him.
100%. I feel like the two like top like wrestling destinations are Chicago and Philly.
Oh yeah, totally. Anything else on Ray Phoenix?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Let me see. I've kind of just been going down the line here. I know said I was going to mix it up. So let's move over to Monday Night Raw here a little bit. The way I wrote up my topics here, I did it like all the SmackDown stuff and then all the Raw stuff. So let's jump over to Mondays here. The Women's World Title. That segment we got at the beginning of the show. I'm going to give you your flowers here because last week you predicted that Bianca Belair would be the heel going into this feud, and that promo that she gave at the start of the show. You know, she came out, she was in all black, she had the black like makeup on and everything. And the promo she gave was a little bit heel like. Do you think that that's the turn they're taking here?
They have to at this point. I mean, I thought it was just like the European crowds booing her. No, it's like the US crowds are also booing her, which means they have to try and make her a heel some way.
Yeah, I feel like she got like booed to oblivion, and I was almost like, you know, like we're seeing this over in Europe. Like, I don't know why they were booing her in Europe, but like prior to the European tour, Bianca Belair was like she was like a favorite. Like it was like, oh, we wanted her to win the Elimination Chamber. We wanted her to go on to WrestleMania and fight for a title. But it was like now all of a sudden everybody's booing her. I don't get why.
I think she's getting like the John Cena treatment where like we're so used to her like being a face now where it's like please have her turn heel.
Yeah, that could be one way to go. Because even during Rhea's promo, like it was like I mentioned last week, as she lost the title, she gave that promo after the show where she was like, this is my fault. I lost focus. I lost my title. This is on me. And then the next week she came out. She was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I deserve to be in here. Just give me the contract. I'm gonna sign it. And now it's like they're going back to that. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
WWE knows their audience isn't stupid. Like, they're gonna be like, hey, this happened last week. Like, you can't just retcon things like that. But do you think it's kind of meshing over well? Like, do you think they're kind of retconning it in a way that makes sense?
I'd say so. I mean, we look back on when Rhea lost the title to EO and Bianca being at ringside, she didn't really need to be there. Like she didn't really have a purpose to be at ringside.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like during that match, I thought that match should have ended in a disqualification too. Like
Hmm.
Bianca straight up attacked Rhea Ripley. Like it wasn't like she was just kind of sitting there and not doing anything, like they screamed at each other, they like hit each other. It was like, what? I was like, what is Jessica Carr doing? Like once again, WWE audiences, like we're not stupid. Like sure we know it's scripted or whatever. Like sure we know that they couldn't call the match, but like at the same time it's like she hit her, Like if there was like a pinfall or whatever and somebody kicked out at 2 but then she counted 3 anyway, it's like we would have seen that, And they've retconned things like that in the past. Like I'm thinking of like Randy Orton versus Gunther um at King of the Ring. I think it was at King of the
Hmm.
Ring, was it? I don't know. I'm trying to think. But the first match between, yeah, it was King of the Ring actually. But that
Oh yeah, with like the shoulder lift.
Yeah, like the shoulder lifting, like they eventually got back around to that where they were like here Gunther won his title, Randy Orton comes out and he's like his first opponent. He was like, "Hey, you never actually beat me for that title." So they kind of retconned it that way. I think one way that they could do it is they have Bianca win at WrestleMania and then have Rhea Ripley come out as her first challenger.
Yeah, my biggest issue right now is like I don't love how like EO is still being like casted out as the world champion.
Yeah, she feels a little bit forced into this feud. I felt the same way when she won the title initially off of Rhea. Like I was like, I feel like they're just trying to find some way to get Io Sky onto WrestleMania, and the one way they could put her in this important position without having like a real storyline for her is to have her just beat Rhea Ripley and then automatically just kind of be part of it. But I don't see her championship reign lasting longer than WrestleMania. What are your predictions for the match?
Neither do I. I honestly think I personally have Rio winning this, but I think just going back to last night, I found it really odd that like when they were all being introduced, EO just didn't have her title like just with her. It
Yeah,
was just on like a stand.
I thought that was a little bit funny too. It was kind of like Adam Pearce being like, "We're gonna start the show with the women's world championship." Like it felt like a last minute thing almost. Like usually if they were gonna do a contract signing segment, they'd have like, the tables, the chairs, the contract. I don't even know where the contract came from. It looked like Adam Pearce just kind of like pulled it out of his ass. Like he just like it wasn't on the table, was it? I didn't see it.
I don't think so. It was probably one of those things where like he held it behind his back or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like nowhere to be found. This just overall felt a little bit last minute to me. But like once again, going back to what we were saying last week, it was like this whole feud, not that it feels forced at all. This is honestly, I think this is one of the better feuds we have going into WrestleMania. It just feels a little, what's the word? Like drawn out. Like it was like we could have had this match announced weeks ago, and that would have given Io Sky more time to like, maybe actually say some words other than just being the crowd favorite and being the women's champion that nobody thinks is actually going to win at WrestleMania. Like
Yeah, like I honestly don't think EO has said like a single word like the last two,
yeah,
3 weeks
no,
now.
not at all. And I mean, okay, this isn't like anything against her or anything, but she's not, how do I say this? She's not great on the mic, and that's not her fault. You know, she doesn't, English
Mhm.
isn't her first language. So to put her into a feud with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, who are good on the mic, it's like she's already in a tough position. So like I feel like this might be the best way that they can go with her, but at the same time, it's like I'm not the biggest fan of it. You know?
Yeah, I wish how like they would uh what am I trying to say here? How they would like envision Io. I feel like she would definitely work out more if they did like the Shinsuke style like promos and vignettes where it was just strictly in Japanese and then you just had like the subtitles.
Yeah, I really liked those. I thought that they were really good for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hmm. And Shinsuke's not even bad on the mic.
I don't know if I've ever heard him on the mic. Like I can't remember the last time he came out and like cut a promo, or even like I guess he had that backstage segment a week or two ago with when he tagged with Drew McIntyre, but like once again, I don't think he said more than 4 words if he said anything at all.
I mean, that was just the whole Sinister gimmick at that point, though.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um anything else on the Women's World Championship before we move on here?
Nope.
All right. We also got some advancements in the Jey Uso and Gunther feud last night. Jey Uso dropped his typical yeet gimmick. He came out, wasn't really celebrating with the crowd, didn't even have a yeet t-shirt on. He came out all black. Honestly, he looked like he was coming to a funeral. It was like if Jey
Hmm.
Uso goes to a funeral, it wasn't like tuxedo or anything. But yeah, he came out, cut this super emotional promo at Gunther. Didn't even let Gunther get a word in. Do you think it was the right decision to not have Gunther say anything back?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, Jay has been viewed as like such a weak opponent, where like if he was able to get Gunther to shut up by just him being passionate, I think that like brought him back into like a even like playing field.
Yeah, there were points where Gunther honestly looked like he kind of felt bad.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was like because of how like emotional like Jay's promo was, I feel like you could just tell like by like Gunther, like I don't know if it's just like him like breaking character or like if that is supposed to be a character thing. He looked so uncomfortable
Yeah,
trying to listen to that.
yeah, he really did. And like if it was a character thing, like dude, good on Gunther. Like he really sold it hard. But like if it wasn't, like dude, I felt bad for him and I was sitting here like I know it's like okay, Jimmy had to do this in order to save their feud, but like everybody felt bad for Jey Uso, except for some reason the crowd, because every time he said something, they were like yeet. He literally went like this, like he was like, hey, calm down with the yeets right now, and then he'd be like, my brother's dead, Oos, yeet. it was like it was like guys, come on, like I thought that was super funny, but do you think that this is the death of the yeet gimmick, or do you think that that'll come back right after WrestleMania?
It has to be the death of it. I mean, as much as he had a good run with it, this is like we don't need like he Uso anymore. We need the main event Jay Uso.
Yeah, because that was one of Gunther's biggest points is like, hey, you're a mascot coming into this. All you do is say a catchphrase and sell t shirts and get the crowd to repeat after you. But like, if he wins this title, he like proves everything that Gunther's been saying about him is false, you know? So I think that if they are going to drop the geek gimmick, which at this point they probably should, I think that this would be the perfect time to do it. Because during that promo, this was like heat of the bloodline storyline levels of Jey Uso. Like I really like this, and I wanted to see more. I want to see more of that Jey Uso going forward.
100%. I think it was also like just a matter of time of like when we would actually see like the emotional side of Jay like finally like being released.
Yeah, because I think we talked about it last week a little bit. Like Jey Uso has the potential to do that. We saw it last night. We saw it years ago. We even saw it last year when him and or 2 years ago at this point when him and Jimmy like lost the tag titles. Like it's like Jimmy or Jey Uso is more than capable of being a character, you know. So just like let him do it, especially if you're gonna put the belt on him, you know.
Yeah, I think after what we saw last night, there's a strong possibility that Jay could be our next world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I thought okay, so I thought he was gonna win the title anyway. When people were initially complaining about this feud, like when it started, like, hey, you know, we're not super into this. I was like, yeah, you're not super into it now, but it's obvious they're gonna put the title on Jay finally. They're finally gonna pull the trigger on him. You will be into it once he wins. You know, the whole Allegiant Stadium or whatever is just gonna be yeeting the whole time after he wins. Um, although, like we just said 2 seconds ago, maybe they won't be. Maybe Yeet is gone. But yeah, I was like, it's just supposed to be like a feel good, happy underdog story for Jey Uso, which people apparently weren't behind as much. I kind of was at first, but like as it went on, I don't know. We won't reopen that can of worms. But anything else on Jey Uso and Gunther before we move on here?
No, honestly, this feud is kind of reminding me of like last year with Gunther and Sammy, where it's just like Gunther's mind games and like targeting his family. Just, I feel like that's the setup they're going for again.
Yeah, I could see that. I could kind of see it. Like it worked last time. Why not let it do it again? Do you think that this is gonna bury Gunther if he loses?
I don't think so. I think so Gunther's been champion for how long now?
Um, since SummerSlam.
And it's crazy to think that this is one of his shorter title reigns. I feel like he's done a lot with the World Heavyweight title that I think he'll definitely like be put into like more like stories and more and hopefully win more championships.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be another champion in probably another year or two. Like I could see him even like winning a Royal Rumble next year to be back pretty much in the same position he's at now. Like he's definitely gonna be a WrestleMania main eventer, if not next year, the year after, or sometime in the future. Like they can't just skip out on Gunther. The only problem is like finding things for him, finding like side quests for him to do almost in between those times. Like he's already won. How long has he been in WWE now? 2 or 3 years. For the most time, he was Intercontinental Champion though, so he had something to do. But like, what else really? Like he already won King of the Ring. He's World Heavyweight Champion now. His whole character is, you know, being prestigious, chasing championships, being a wrestler. You know, he doesn't have time for funny business. But like, I don't know what else he could go after. I don't think he's gonna go after the United States title. He's not on SmackDown. He can't go for the WWE Championship yet. If he wins a Royal Rumble, he could. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out what's next for Gunther if he even loses at
Yeah.
all. Because I could also see them letting him retain. Unfortunately, I don't want him to, but
Not gonna lie, I have Gunther still
really,
coming out as
really,
champion. Yeah.
why is that actually? Let's dive into this. Why?
My thing is like with Gunther, when you look at his last two like title reigns being over like 600 plus days, I feel like WWE has had like that weird like kink of having like very long like reigning champions. Like I feel like regardless, one of the world titles is gonna change hands. I don't think it's gonna be the world title.
That's interesting because I think if Jey Uso loses this match, like he's done, you know? Like he's not main event Jey Uso anymore. He's proved that he can't be main event Jey Uso. How many times has he lost title matches already, you know? Like it's just a couple of weeks before he won the Royal Rumble, he lost a title match at Saturday night's main event against Gunther. Like it's like he won the Intercontinental Championship, but then he lost it like less than a month later. Like it's like I feel like if Jey Uso loses, like he's gonna need to take some time off. He's not gonna come back for a while, or he's just gonna be completely buried at that point.
Yes, my thing with Jay is like I feel like he's just better suited being a tag team guy rather than a singles guy. Because if you think Jey Uso, you're just gonna think the Usos all the time. You won't think about him really being a singles competitor.
Yeah, that's true. He was a tag team guy for fuck like 12, 15 years. Like it's like yeah, the Usos are like a synonymous tag team, like the tag team. You know, they're gonna go when they go into the Hall of Fame. They're gonna go into the Hall of Fame together as a tag team. Like
Hmm.
you're not gonna see Jey Uso go and then Jimmy Uso not go. You know, like you're gonna see both of them. They're gonna be remembered for their tag team runs. Um, and it's just unfortunate. Like I could totally see, you know, if he doesn't win, they already kind of have the setup for it to rejoin the Usos. Like it's like, hey, you know, I failed at Mania. You suffered because of it. Why don't we just stick together? You know?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I kind of feel bad for Jey Uso because it's like I'm sure their whole career they've been looking forward to singles runs, and for as successful as they've been, I guess like they're both yeeting now. You know, like if they want to keep the yeet gimmick, it could just be an Uso thing. It doesn't have to be a Jey Uso thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's really tough for like those two, especially being from such like a very like prestigious like wrestling family, where it's really hard. It's gonna be harder for them to stand out.
Yeah, like they have that pressure on them. You know.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else on Gunther and Jay before we move on here?
All good.
All right. Let me see what we got next. Let's go. Okay, we had this was one of my favorite matches from last night actually, and it set up a really funny match that I really like for WrestleMania. I'm talking LWO versus the Creed brothers and El Grande Americano. Holy shit, was that match good?
I honestly was not expecting it to be that good. It genuinely should have not been that good.
No, no, definitely not. But it was, and that's what I love about it. Like the LWO, for as like I don't want to say as cringe as they are, but like whenever I see them, like I'm like I know these guys don't have, other than Rey Mysterio, they don't have the ability to like cut promos or do any character work. They go out there, they put on a match, everybody loves it, and then they leave. Like I don't even know the difference between Joaquin Wild and I don't even know his I don't even know his name. See what I mean? But
Hmm.
no, this match was awesome. How is Julius Creed able to do the things he does? Like a shooting star press. This guy is like 6'5", 250. Like people talk about Jacob Fatu doing crazy shit. He doesn't do shooting star presses. Like Julius Creed is awesome.
I'm telling you, you have to watch his stuff in NXT.
The
That's
Creed
just
brothers?
like a, yeah, that's just a glimpse of Julius.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy actually. I mean, I believe it. I believe it just from what we saw. I thought the craziest thing about the shooting star press actually was the camera angle that they got, because it was like you couldn't see him on the top rope,
Hmm.
and they were just shooting like Chad Gable getting pinned by Dragon Lee or whatever, and you just see him like fall onto, like you just see him flip and fall onto them. I was like, oh my god, like I didn't even see it coming. I never see it coming, and he does it like every like two matches that he has. He does that all the time. Like that's disgusting. That's like original Brock Lesnar levels of disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, like Julius, if they like break off American Made, Julius is going to be a very talented single star.
Oh yeah, I've seen so many people online and stuff talking about him. He's awesome. Is he good on the mic? I don't know. I haven't heard too much of them other than like them laughing backstage or agreeing with Chad Gable.
Um, I feel like whenever I've seen the Creed brothers, they've always been with Ivy Nile, and I feel like she's always been like the mouthpiece.
Yeah. I like Brutus Creed's laugh that he does. Whenever Chad Gable says anything, it's so funny. I don't know. I love American Made. They're like my new Judgment Day. You know, it's like they're the new big happy family that likes to just go around and do evil shit. You know.
I love how like they're still like doing like the whole like American Made versus um Alpha Academy, where like it's just like the one-off like run-ins.
Yeah, it's like they just kind of bump into each other, like that Burt Kreischer thing on
I
Raw.
can't stand him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You don't like Burt Kreischer?
I don't think he's funny.
I don't know. I like him. I watch all of his Netflix specials. I think he's really funny. But I thought him and Otis, that was like the most perfect interaction that they could have had.
Oh, 100%.
Like the ripping of the shirts and everything.
Hey, Otis can.
Yeah.
Otis is a machine.
They're both the machine.
One's more machine than the other.
Oh yeah, definitely. How about this match that we got for WrestleMania though? El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
The fact that El Grande Americano is getting a Mania match before Chad Gable is
Dude,
actually upsetting.
it's disgusting. It's disgusting. This guy just debuted, you know? I mean,
Hmm.
maybe you know Chad Gable's too sick. He's not going to make it to the show, but who was I thinking before? El Grande Americano has a match at WrestleMania and Solo Sikoa doesn't. I love this
Who
character
would have
so much.
thought?
For real, dude. After the year Solo just had, um, that's super funny though. That's super funny. I love El Grande. I love what they're doing with him. It's like the most like subtly like racist and hateful character ever, but it kind of works.
Did you hear the crowd chants? I think one of the chants was like, "That's Chad Gable." No, it's not.
Really? I didn't hear that. That's funny.
It was like very subtle, but I thought it was really funny.
That is funny. I love El Grande. Anything else on this stupid ass storyline we got going? I think it's stupid, but it is great. I mean, Rey Mysterio he's got to be on WrestleMania somehow. You know, Hall of Famer. He's just like padding his WrestleMania match stats, but he's still one of the best. You know, he's still producing, and I guess they do kind of have a storyline going in here. It's like the tradition of lucha libre going against whatever the hell El Grande is. You know.
I'm genuinely like surprised that they were able to fit in another Mania match. I thought Mania would have been set by now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like when Ray was like, "I'll have this match when I want it." I was like, "Okay, it's gonna be next week. It's gonna be a Raw after Mania thing." But no, we just straight up got El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio on the WrestleMania card. So I'm excited for it though. I think it's gonna be great. Chad Gable, or sorry, not Chad Gable, El Grande Americano is a legend in Lucha Libre, and if he is Chad Gable, if Chad Gable right now, I think is one of the best like technical wrestlers that WWE has, and he's super underutilized. Like this is gonna be an awesome match. This has like, I think that this could be up there with AJ Styles versus Logan Paul for like match of the night. I think they have to put these two matches on separate shows.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like Mysterio and El Grande Americano is probably gonna be night two at this point.
Yeah, like we'll have just those two random, really good, really hype matches in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Super excited for it. Anything else on LWO, Creed Brothers, El Grande, maybe Chad Gable?
Hey, well, I've never seen them in the same room together, so
I haven't either. You know, he's like Batman.
literally.
All right. Let's go back to SmackDown for a minute here. We had some advancements, I guess we could say, in the Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair feud going on. My question to you, was this segment good or was this segment so bad it was good?
It was so bad that it was good.
That's what I was thinking. Um, this was like Charlotte Flair's worst promo ever. Like she just kind of rage quit in the middle of it. I feel like.
what I don't understand is like she's been in the company for so long, like she is like a notorious heel, and she can't take the heat still.
Yeah, I was
Like
thinking the same
the
thing.
way she flusters is actually insane.
Yeah, because at the beginning of it, she was like, she was getting the crowd going, you know, and she was like, "You hear that, Tiffany? That's star power," or whatever she said. And they were all booing her or whatever. She's like, you know, you could boo, you could cheer, whatever you want. I'm still here. And then Tiffany Stratton did the same thing. She got a louder pop, and from there, Charlotte just shut down. She couldn't even get a word out after that. Every time she tried to say everything, it was like Dominic Mysterio. Today, Dominic Mysterio doesn't get the same type of heat that he did, um, whatever it was, a year or two ago. Like, he can actually sometimes say things. I know he's been mostly in backstage segments just so that they could kind of prevent that. But Charlotte Flair was getting Dominic Mysterio levels of heat, and you could tell it kind of got to her.
Well, my thing was like I was looking on I think Twitter the other day. It was like Logan Paul handles his heat better than Charlotte does from the past 10 years.
Yeah, and I mean, like, because he just owns into it, you know? Like, when he hears them boo, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm just better than you, and you're just jealous that I'm here. And, like, I don't know why Charlotte can't dive into that, you know? Like, she's been a heel forever. Like, I can't remember babyface Charlotte. I don't know if anybody even likes Charlotte Flair or if they ever did. I mean, she's great. She's probably, is she the most winningest women's champion of all time? I think so, right?
I think so, yeah. I think she's at like 14.
Yeah, and it's like she did most of those as a heel because nobody wants to see her win, and yet here we are still. She can't take the heat, and she definitely
It's
can't be a
actually
babyface.
no, and it's insane because she's a Flair. How can you not handle the heat?
Yeah, that's like your thing, you know. Literally, no pun intended.
Like I like I'm actually like befounded at the fact that she still is bad on the mic.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's that she's necessarily bad on the mic. I think it was just tonight was just such an off night, and she just like. Do you think she knew that Tiffany Stratton was gonna get as personal as she did? And she knew like, hey, I'm gonna look like shit after this, and that's why she got flustered. Like the divorce thing that Tiffany said at the end. First of all, like, oh my god, but second of all, it's like that had to have been discussed beforehand, right? Like she didn't just drop that on her.
Well, I was reading reports on like from like previous weeks saying like Charlotte has been going like off script like since the start of this feud.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like Tiffany's clapback.
Yeah,
And I guess it just really threw Charlotte off.
yeah, I could see that too, because like I'm sure, obviously, they're all people too. They go on Twitter, they go on social media, they see what people are saying, and then they change their game from there. Like they're not stupid, you know. So Tiffany Stratton probably goes on Twitter. She sees, oh, people think I'm just reading from the script, which she clearly was, you know. But she's like, hey, you know, I could do that too. I could go off script, and I just think everything that she said to Charlotte was super like impactful. Like I think Tiffy's back, you know? Like at first it was just like clear cut Charlotte's going to win this at WrestleMania. Tiffy's going to go back to not like maybe not the mid card, but like lower main event. She's going to have her own little side quest for a while before she's competing for championships. But now I don't know. You know, like I think this really helps their feud, and I really think this helped out Tiffany Stratton. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with you. I think the issue is like I don't love the fact that it was like they had to go off script. I feel like it's such a cheat to go off script where it's like you could easily just go personal and just hit the level playing field and just shoot against your other opponent. But other than that, I think Tiffany definitely redeemed herself.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Because now I'm not sure. I'm not even sure who's gonna win this match. Like I said last week, it was clear cut for me. Charlotte's winning this championship. Whatever. Tiffy's gonna go down and do whatever she wants. But I seriously don't know. I think that this can now go either way, and I'm actually really looking forward to this match because there's no doubt in my mind. from the very beginning that it was going to be a good match, you know?
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be like one of those like the present versus the future like matchup. Like this is actually a match that I'm looking forward to. It's just the build up had sucked prior to last week.
Yeah, I was seeing a lot of things online about this a while ago. I feel like this year the Royal Rumble winners are being treated, not that they're being treated, but it's like their storylines are below those of the Elimination Chamber winners. Like, like the Royal Rumble is supposed to be the big one, like you win the Royal Rumble, you main event WrestleMania, you get the big storyline. But this year it's like Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair have just been not bottom of the barrel, but haven't had those great storylines. Meanwhile, John Cena's got the storyline of storylines, and Bianca Belair's got herself a pretty good story going into this too. Like people were arguing for that triple threat to be the main event.
Yeah, and I think I was reading something about like this is the first time since Shinsuke and Asuka that none of the Rumble winners are main eventing.
Yeah, that's odd too, because I always thought it was if you win the Royal Rumble, you automatically get to main event WrestleMania. Like I thought that was like the rule, That was the rule like forever. Like when did that change? I don't even know.
I feel like it was just such a subtle change that it was like barely noticeable up until recently when I saw that fact.
Yeah, it was like now you're just guaranteed a title match at WrestleMania is the way it's worded now, but it's like I don't know. I still think it would just make more sense to main event it. Like the Royal Rumble's the big one. People don't.
Hmm.
I mean, people look forward to Elimination Chamber, but people don't look forward to Elimination Chamber like they look forward to the Royal Rumble. Like if you win the Royal Rumble, you are him. If you're the Elimination Chamber winner, you're like you were in the Rumble, you were a runner up, and now this is your second chance. Like that's how most of the
Hmm.
storylines going into the Elimination Chamber always are. It's like, hey, I fucked up at the Rumble, but I could still get myself onto the card in a title match, not the title that I necessarily wanted per se, but I could still end up in a title match at Mania, not in the main event.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, like this was like the first like Royal Rumble too, where it was like it would make sense why neither of the winners would be in the main event, if I'm
Yeah.
being completely honest.
Yeah, I feel like Charlotte Flair's win was kind of predictable. If they didn't
I'm still
okay,
pissed about it.
I am too. But if I wanted Io Sky to win, which if they didn't tease Charlotte Flair returning like on SmackDown before the Rumble and had her just return in the Royal
Hmm.
Rumble, I think then it would have been a little bit better. But just leading up to it, seeing all these vignettes, and especially the fact that she didn't come out on SmackDown before the Rumble, did she? I don't recall.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think
I
she
think it was
did.
just the vignettes.
Yeah, but like maybe if she came out and declared for the Rumble, if she came out and did anything else, it would have been a little different. But it was like Charlotte Flair's coming back. Charlotte Flair's in the Royal Rumble. Like she was the only one really that you could see winning it. Like there
Hmm.
weren't these like huge names in the Royal Rumble. I don't know.
I was I was gonna say like the women's Rumble this year, I just feel like there wasn't really like anyone to choose from that you could say like, oh, like she could win the Rumble.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. Like the men's Rumble, it was like you could have made a case for almost anybody. You could have made a case for
Hmm.
friggin' Penta to win it, but like I don't know the women because they didn't have a lot of people declare for it really. Like I felt like there was only just like there was Nia Jax, obviously Charlotte Flair. Everybody else, it was kind of like they'll just be like it's just kind of a free for all.
Yeah.
Quite literally. All right. Anything else on Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair? There, we've got like I've got like two more topics lined up here. Um, but yeah, anything else on that before we get to those?
I would like to shout out Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh yeah,
He he might be the only superstar in history to turn face without showing up on the show.
yeah. That was awesome, dude. That was so funny. That's why Kaiser's in my DMs. Did
No,
you
he's
see?
not.
Did you see? Did you see what he tweeted?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you wish or something.
It's like pipe down, Charlotte.
Yeah, yeah. That was funny. That was funny. Um, all right. Anything else? Anything else on that topic before we move on?
No, I'm good.
All right. Um, let's see. Let's go the United States title match. I want to save my last topic for last, just because I have a pretty big hot take for that one. Um, the U.S. title match. We had Jacob Fatu lose to Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. This was Braun Strowman's first ever loss in a last man standing match, first of all, which is awesome. The match itself, what did you think of it? I thought it was awesome.
They made those two look like monsters.
Yeah. I liked this one
And it
more than
was,
the Bronson Reed one.
oh, 100%. But I think they really made Jacob look good with this.
Um, so obviously we know the winner of this match will face LA Knight at WrestleMania. We have our question answered from last week as to what they're going to do with the U.S. title match. It's not going to be, um, what did you say it was? The championship scramble?
Championship
The
scramble.
championship scramble. It's not going to be a ladder match. It's just going to be regular one-on-one LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Now, do you think that, first of all, do you think this was the right decision for WrestleMania?
I don't think so. And I think this goes back to my point saying, like, I would have been fine if we didn't have the U.S. title match at Mania.
I I did want to see the title on the card just because I think that at WrestleMania there's two nights. The show is extended, like there's more matches on it. I think every title should be defended at WrestleMania in one way or another. Now, if those titles have the storyline built up to do so, that's a completely different story. Like right now, I could do without the women's tag titles, which we'll get to in a minute. I could do without the Raw tag titles right now. But the U.S. title just seems a little bit different, you know. That's a pretty big title. Some big names have held the United States Championship. But still, for Jacob Fatu, I still wanted to see Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, kind of. Like I kind of wanted this to culminate here, not because I'm super invested in Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, but because I know that during this match, Solo Sikoa is going to somehow ruin it for Jacob Fatu. I think LA Knight's going to retain at WrestleMania, and I think it's going to be because Solo Sikoa screws over Jacob Fatu, and then they go into a feud. The only reason I wanted to see that match here, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, is because I want Fatu to be done with Solo. Like I want him to move on and go do other things for the rest of his career from like this point forward. I wanted this to be the finale of whatever their storyline is. But now it seems whether he wins or loses, we're going right into a storyline with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely gonna call. This match is definitely gonna have some sort of like solo shenanigan.
Yeah, like most bloodline matches just do. Like it's like you just expect it at this point. Like once you see Fatu or you see Tamatanga at Solo's side or you see Solo out there with Fatu or even during the Tribal Chief days, it's like you already know what's coming, you know? And it's kind of sad because if Jacob's going to win his first title, if he's going to be in his first WrestleMania match, like I want him to do it. You know, same like I feel about John Cena having The Rock come out and if he helps him or not. Like I want Jacob Fatu to solidify himself by himself. And that's why I wanted that solo feud to be here at WrestleMania so that he could do that immediately afterward. Like you could have had the championship scramble, you could have had the ladder match here, have LA Knight retain. Meanwhile, you have Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, and then even at as early as Backlash, which is like 2 weeks after WrestleMania, you can have Jacob Fatu take the title off of him. But like I don't know, I just think it was a little too early to just shove him into this title match.
Yeah, and that goes back to like my whole thing from last week saying how like there really hasn't been a build up for the US title besides like the SmackDown mid card.
Yeah, yeah, like the SmackDown mid card, like like I was saying, I didn't want to see another multi-man match, but at the same time, I feel like it just would have fit so much better.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the U.S. title?
Nope.
No? All right. Let's get into this. Is the one that I have been waiting for because I really want to get your opinion on this. We're going to talk about Lyra Valkyria and Bayley real quick. And before we get to my hot take, what did you think of that match that they had on Monday for the IC title?
I honestly thought it was a really good match. I just didn't like the finish.
Yeah, I thought that this match was like, it was really tough. I described it in my Raw review as gritty. I thought it was a little bit stiff. That knee that Bayley gave Lyra, like early on, and then she tried to do that. What was it? The like sunset flip into the corner, but completely whiffed
Oh
it.
yeah.
I thought Lyra recovered from that really, really well. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
she looked like a real professional doing that. Like it just flowed naturally. Like it looked like she just missed and reversed it when like clearly it was kind of intended to happen there. But yeah, I really like that match. What are you like? At the end when Bayley kind of shoved Lyra away, and then she was like, "All right, you know what? Let's be friends now." What do you think about this tag team tournament that we're getting on SmackDown this week? I personally don't really care at all for it, but let's see. You go ahead. Tell me what you think first.
I'm with you, and it's just so unfortunate with like how weak like the women's tag team division is that you have to like makeshift teams in order to have this thing like be a division.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's no women's tag titles down on NXT, is there?
No, and that was when I think I forget who it was, but that's when the main roster women's tag got unified with the NXT tag.
Yeah, I think that it should just go right back down to NXT because how many actual women's tag teams are there? I could name two, and one of them just came into existence, and that's the Secret Hervis. Like the Secret
Hmm.
Hervis and Caden Carter and Katana Chance are the only two teams I really see in this tournament that are like a tag team. And the clear favorite to win the tournament is Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, which I hate so much. Like I don't want to see these titles on Mania at all because Lyra Valkyria um, deserves an IC women's title match, and like this being her way onto the WrestleMania card, it just sucks for me personally.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and it goes back to like my thing last week about the women's mid card titles. It's like there hasn't been much build up for any of the titles going into Mania.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I want to get into my hot take of the day about Lyra Valkyria. I think that right now, Lyra Valkyria is the best women's champion in the WWE.
Oh, I don't think that's a hot take. I
Oh,
honestly
really?
agree with you.
Okay, good. Awesome.
I genuinely agree with
Awesome.
you.
Yeah. She has awesome matches. She has different matches against different people. She defends her title like every other week. And this bitch isn't on the WrestleMania card. Are you kidding me? Like, Lyra has been done
Hmm.
so dirty. The only thing that she doesn't have that, like, the Women's World Championship has, even the United States Women's Championship has, is a storyline. She has nothing. And it sucks. Liv Morgan was
Hmm.
right there. Literally,
Literally.
I hate it. It's so unfortunate, dude. Like Lyra Valkyria, since coming up to the main roster, I think she came up right around the same time as Tiffany Stratton, right? If I recall
I
correctly.
think so, yeah, because I think they both got drafted.
Yeah. And I think she's just been so much better, but Tiffany Stratton has been put into bigger storylines, and I think if they went the same route with Tiffany Stratton as they did with Lyra, like kind of ease her into it, pair her with somebody like they paired her with like Nia Jax, like Lyra Valkyria got
Mhm.
paired with Becky Lynch, like who better, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
this could go back to like even like with Charlotte Flair, like they could have had Charlotte Flair be paired with Tiffany Stratton. They could have done anything, but like just ease her into it a little bit, you know? Like she was automatically a Money in the Bank winner. She was almost automatically like a women's world champion. Meanwhile, Lyra is giving a name to a brand new title, and I think she's doing a fantastic job of doing it. And once again, just the fact that she's not on the WrestleMania card, it pisses me off, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think just like the comparison with Lyra and Tiffany, like you can tell like who has like the actual like pro wrestling background and then the one that like the college athlete like NXT like Brigands, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Because she was like a gymnastics or a cheerleader or something like that. Tiffany Stratton was. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Lyra, like I think if Lyra was in Tiffany's position right now, I think she'd be doing a better job. Not that I want to see her in Tiffany's position right now just yet, because like I said, easing her into it is like the way to go. Like she has like the stereotypical up and coming. She's getting the Braun Breaker treatment. You know, she's coming up. She's got a not that the IC title is brand new for the men's, but she's got the mid card championship on her. She's making a name for herself with that title, and she's doing a really good job with it. And I don't know. I just can't fathom that she doesn't have a WrestleMania match. Like, and if it's the tag team titles, I'll unfortunately I'll just like skip over it. Like I don't want to see that match at all. Not that Liv Morgan isn't fantastic either, but like if you wanted Liv Morgan on the card that bad, if you wanted Lyra on the card that bad, the match is right there, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, like I don't care for the women's tag team titles.
nobody does. Literally nobody does. Um, do you think there's a possibility that they could still like go that route at all, or do you think it's just too late at this point? Like they're just set on women's tag titles.
It's too late now because they already announced the tournament and we're literally less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was trying to like, I was trying to like fantasy book in my head. Well, you know, like maybe Bailey and Lyra win the thing, but then Bailey she breaks her legs, and then I don't I don't know, like some bullshit happens, where oh no, now Lyra doesn't have a partner. Looks like we'll just fight for Lyra's title instead. But I feel like that's a little bit far fetched, and it sucks. It really does. But I really thought that was more of a hotter take than it was. I'm not gonna lie. I would I
No, because you sent me the notes and like I saw like your like hot take. I'm like, what hot take could you possibly have for
yeah.
this?
I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be controversial, but I don't know if anybody had thought about that previously, but I don't know. Apparently so.
No,
um
I'm with you. I think Lyra's like the best women's champion we got right now.
yeah, she's great. She's great. She really is. And I mean, I'm not upset that she's at least not missing WrestleMania. Like I'm glad she's on there somewhere rather than missing out entirely. But
Hmm.
it just sucks that like Chelsea Green has more of a storyline than Lyra does right now, because Lyra is not that she's better than Chelsea Green or that I like her more than Chelsea Green, which are probably both true. But if either one of these two deserve the singles title match more, I think it's Lyra. Chelsea Green.
100%.
I think it might just be because Chelsea Green's a better character worker right now. Like people care about Lyra.
Yeah.
They care about Lyra because she has good matches and she's a good champion and she defends her title every week. Meanwhile, everybody loves Chelsea because she's got a funny gimmick. Uh, Everybody loves her, and she has the secret Hervis with her, and I don't know.
I mean, you really can't hate Chelsea for what she's
No,
doing.
oh, definitely not.
She's literally just being herself.
Yeah, no shade towards Chelsea Green. I love Chelsea Green, and I'm really glad that she was the inaugural U.S. Women's Champion too.
Hmm.
All right. Um, Anything else here on the topic of Lyra Valkyria and Bailey?
Um, no.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for today. Do you have anything to add before we wrap the show up?
Um, Penta versus Dominic.
Ooh, yeah. Did this match feel short to you?
A little bit. I thought it was like just me, but it did feel short.
That's what I was saying. I said it in my Raw review that I made. Um, I don't know what it was about it, cuz it wasn't like that was supposed to be the main event of the show almost, like other than obviously the CM Punk segment or the Paul Heyman segment. But usually those matches are a little bit longer, and especially Penta versus Dominic Mysterio, like these two guys I think would have had an awesome match otherwise. And we're going to get more of them at WrestleMania obviously, but yeah, I don't know, to me it didn't quite hit as hard as I wanted it to, and I was looking forward to it all night.
I didn't. I feel like we saw like the AEW side of Penta also, where like I feel like he wasn't selling a lot of Dom.
Yeah. I could see that for Dom though, cuz it's like even Finn Balor said it earlier in the show. He's like, "You're a loser. You don't have what it takes. You don't have that killer instinct." So it's like maybe his moves don't hit that hard. Like Dominic's 619 either gets countered every single time, or it's a kick out every single time. Like I don't know why he still does the 619. Like he hasn't finished anybody with it, and it's like a finishing move.
Mhm. I will say, hope Carlito's okay.
Oh, that was bad, dude. That was bad. That was like a Braun Breaker was in like a full like sprint, did a front flip spear. Like I didn't know if I
Mhm.
thought maybe Braun Breaker took the worst of it, honestly. But yeah, that was Braun Breaker has like a crazier spear every time he comes on TV. Like I don't know what he does to make the spear look so crazy every single week, but it just gets better and better with this guy.
I honestly think Braun Breaker is already in the conversation for like the greatest spear of all time.
I can see that. Like especially when he runs the ropes,
Hmm.
cuz he moves so fast. Like it looks brutal because it probably is. Like when he speared I Show Speed at the Rumble, like Speed, I think Speed thought it was going to be like a soft like fake tackle thing. Like no, this guy was an NFL player. He played like fullback for the Baltimore Ravens or something. Like what
Hmm.
what about that makes you think that he would gonna go easy, especially on an outsider like that? He probably looked at this guy and he was like, okay, I'm gonna kill him. You know?
Yeah, like some of Braun's spears like down in NXT were also insane.
Oh
Where
yeah,
like he would sometimes like my most memorable like spear of his is him spearing Carmelo Hayes while he was in midair.
I think I've seen that before.
Like absolutely insane.
Yeah, yeah, he's diabolical, and he's gonna be for years to come, which is great. He's definitely like a future Royal Rumble winner, future
Hmm.
Mania main eventer, future world champion, future everything. He is WWE's future right now. And there's so many different routes you can go with him too. Like he could be the next Brock Lesnar, he could be the next John Cena. He could do not necessarily John Cena. Okay, that was a little bit of a stretch. But like he's going to be that guy.
Hmm. I just can't believe like the amount of like ground he covered from the ramp to just spearing
Yeah,
the
dude.
absolute hell out of Carlito.
It was like Michael Jordan. He jumped from like the middle of the ramp. He looked like a tiger. He looked like, you ever
Hmm.
play Five Nights at Freddy's 2? He was like when
Yeah.
Foxy jumps down the hallway. Like he came from so far. That's why
Like
Pat McAfee always calls him the big cat.
I hope Pat McAfee uh wears his like tuxedo shorts again for
Oh yeah,
Mania.
yeah. You've heard that? Did you listen to the Michael Cole on Logan Paul's podcast about the tuxedo shorts?
Oh yeah, when Michael Cole like chewed him out.
Yeah, and he was like, "That's it. I'm not doing the show," and he like tried to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely will. That's just who Pat is.
What if we like see like a one-off like celeb match at WrestleMania?
Like who? I don't even know who it could be. Like who are
Like
you
you know how
thinking?
last year they had like Snoop and
Oh yeah,
Shane McMahon?
oh yeah, yeah. And Shane tore both of his quads doing a split or whatever. Oh my god.
We haven't heard from Shane since.
Yeah, he's in like AEW now, isn't he? Didn't he?
Is he? I don't
He
know.
had something with AEW going on. I think he like met with Tony Khan, or I don't know if he tried to buy. That was a rumor a long time ago. I never really paid attention to it, but Yeah, we haven't seen or heard from him since the Snoop Dogg incident. I remember watching that, and I was just as confused as like the Miz was in that moment. I was like, just looking at him, like, what is going on? Like, what's with the McMahons and just tearing their quads?
The infamous Vince McMahon quad tear of
Yeah,
2005.
I watched that video, and like, obviously, I was 2 years old when that happened, so I didn't see it in
Mm,
person or anything. But like, I watched that
yeah.
video like on a bi-weekly basis. Like, I'll just be like, I feel like watching Vince McMahon tear his quads today, and I'll throw it on for 10 seconds, get a good laugh out of it, and shut it off.
I
It's so
say
funny.
you haven't lived if you haven't done the Vince McMahon strut.
Yeah. uh,
I swear, the way he struts, I always feel like he's gonna tear something.
yeah, like his quads were probably like trembling as he was like dramatically shaking down the ramp.
I mean, probably. I mean, I'm just glad we haven't heard of him since.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's gone for good.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah, you never know with him. He did blow up in a car and come back to life mysteriously the next day. So you know that happened in Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah.
That was
Did
like,
that actually?
yeah, that was here. I was talking to my friend at work about it, and he said he was like watching it because he was watching it on TV. Obviously, this was like years ago or whatever, but he was
Mhm.
watching it on TV that night because he knew the show was in Wilkes-Barre and he wanted to like see if he, I don't know, knew anybody there or something. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, Vince McMahon blew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And then the whole Chris Benoit thing happened, and he mysteriously came back to
Man,
life the next week.
talk about irony.
Yeah. All right.
I will.
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I will say I am surprised that we haven't gotten like any sort of like WrestleMania like stage leak yet.
Oh yeah. I've seen some like it was probably all AI, but I saw some stuff on Twitter, like some predictions for what it could look like.
Mm,
Um, I think they're really gonna obviously dive into like the gambling aspect of it because they kind of have with the logo already. You know, they have all the
mhm,
cards over the top, and I think they're gonna have like a roulette wheel or something that they come out of. I don't know. It could definitely be cool though. You could do a lot with Las Vegas because it's not just like L.A. Where they're like, oh yeah, Hollywood, we got the film or whatever. Like you could do a lot with Las Vegas. There's a lot of shit in Las Vegas. They got the Eiffel
mhm.
Tower, the Statue of Liberty. They've got the casinos. They've got literally everything. So
I'm surprised that like there hasn't been like because I feel like by now like they would usually do like an unveiling of what the
yeah,
stage would look like.
yeah. Like last year's was really cool. I liked the giant XL and stuff, and all the Eagles colors and all
Mm.
that.
Hey, nothing beats WrestleMania 35 when it was just one big jumbotron.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That might be the worst stage of all time.
Oh my god, definitely. Like WrestleMania one had a better stage, and it was literally nothing. Like
Hmm.
it's just lazy. That wasn't
Yeah.
pandemic era, was it? Oh no, it was, wasn't it?
No, that was the year
Or it was
before.
the year before? Yeah. 'Cause I was gonna say if it was pandemic, okay, you can get away with it because it's indoors. But
Hmm.
no, no way.
Yeah. No, yeah, no shot.
All right. Anything else we got here?
Um, what did you think about the segment between AJ Styles and Karrion Cross?
I was glad that we finally got something out of Karrion Cross, and I think that going forward, we're gonna get more of Karrion Cross. I don't know if he'll join Judgment Day, like you said last week, but this kind of sets up a feud with AJ Styles for after WrestleMania. I think because what he was like, you're gonna reach your full potential or something, or bring out that side of AJ Styles that we never get to see. Um,
Hmm.
so I think maybe we'll get like a darker, more brutal kind of AJ Styles at WrestleMania and going afterward. That or AJ Styles will refuse to like accept Karrion's offer or whatever, like to turn to the dark side, and then we'll get a feud for Karrion Kross. Either way, though, this is big for Karrion Kross because he was feuding with the Wyatt Six, and that kind of disbanded when they got moved to SmackDown, and we haven't seen them since. We haven't really seen him since. There was that thing with Sami Zayn going on, which never really led to anything. So I'm just hoping that whatever they decide to do here between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, it's like actually something of substance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I mean, they do have a match next week, so I
Yeah.
mean, who knows what will happen?
I
We might even see a Logan Paul interference.
yeah, I can't even remember the last time Karrion Kross had a match on TV.
Honestly, the last match I remember him having was last year's Mania versus Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good match too. That was a car crash.
Literally.
I think he beat Uncle Howdy, right? They had a tag team match, I think. Like a triple threat tag team.
I honestly don't even remember.
I
The Wyatt Six thing has been like so like rough and patchy.
Yeah, like it was like they built up all the hype for their debut and then they debuted and then like what since? Obviously
I mean
they had the feud with Chad Gable, which gave us American Made, but
the real issue is like Bo's been injured since I forget how long it was, but that's really why like the Wyatt Six hasn't been a thing.
yeah, it has been a while cuz obviously last time we saw them was the last time we saw Karrion Kross in action and I don't even remember when that is. So, on SmackDown, like what teams are there for them to feud with? Because obviously they can't really go after one person, can they? Like I see them as more of like a
Um,
faction war kind of group.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did single out Chad Gable.
They did okay, they did, but then he formed that brought him to form American Made, and now we have El Grande Americano, which is you know he's El Grande. Um, but yeah, so good things come from the Wyatt Six, but if the Wyatt Six, here's a question: if the Wyatt Six are to attack somebody on SmackDown, who do you think it could be?
Oh, for me, that's easy. That's Solo.
Oh yeah,
Solo's
that's
like
that's
the
totally true.
obvious
Actually,
choice, I
yeah,
think.
that is true. That is true. But now he doesn't have Jacob Fatu anymore. Like it's like the bloodline. So since this, I think that would have worked better before WrestleMania. Like that could have been like a WrestleMania feud. Even if say in a perfect world when Bo doesn't get hurt, it could be like the Wyatt Six versus Bloodline 2.0 at WrestleMania. But now obviously we can't do that because there's no Bloodline 2.0. But yeah, they could definitely still go after Solo Sikoa because we are yet to get the debut of Hikuleo, who has been signed by WWE for like 2 years now, and we just haven't heard anything. He hasn't been in NXT. He's not in any of the
Mm.
developmental things. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, apparently there's still reports that he's like still at the PC, but they just have nothing for him right now.
Yeah, and that's really probably it. It's like it's hard to just shove somebody into the bloodline storyline. Like look what happened to poor like Tongaloa. Like it's like if you're not ready for it and you just get shoved into the biggest thing in professional wrestling in the last like 5 to 10 years, it's like there's a lot of pressure on you to perform, and especially somebody of Tongaloa's caliber who is, not that high of caliber. It's like that you really get singled out. Like that guy couldn't even hold up the title belt that he didn't win. Poor Tongaloa. I miss Tongaloa.
It's it sucks because like they brought in like so many like great like superstars from New Japan and or like just Japan in general. Like they have nothing for them. Like you have Tama Tonga and Tongaloa who were like my favorite like tag team in New Japan. They had really nothing going for them. Shinsuke has nothing going for him. Um, who else? Like Yeah, it's like tough to like really. We saw the release of Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah. I think if these guys really want to succeed from New Japan in the WWE, what they should do first is go to AEW and then leave AEW.
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody that comes from there is getting something. Like Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints is already the North American champion.
Yep.
Like
Ricky
that's crazy.
Saints.
Ricky Saints. It just sounds weird. Like I don't.
Tony
I'm not a
Tony
big.
fumbled.
Yeah. There were the Tony fumbled chants. What was it? Wasn't it? It was Ethan Page. It was Ethan Page, Tony Saints. Who was the other guy?
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears. Yeah, the three AEW new signs. The Tony fumbled chants. They're all in that like title match sequence. Was that the title match that happened? I don't know. I didn't see it live. I just saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Tony did indeed fumble. Honestly,
He's not gonna recover from it.
AEW might be a better feeder program than NXT is because NXT is not even a feeder program at this point. It's just NXT, you know?
Hmm. Like NXT could be its own thing.
Yeah, it's probably better than anything AEW puts out. Like I remember this was probably last summer, maybe a little later. AEW came to Wilkes-Barre again for a show and like I didn't go to it, but they do both shows in the same building at the same night. Like they record them and then I don't know if it was maybe just they did it that week, but they did is it Collision and Dynamite the two shows?
Yeah, I heard like that's like just an AEW thing.
Yeah, they do.
Just because like they can't like get any other like arena, so like they have to film both shows.
Yeah, they do them both in the same like sitting almost and then they just I guess cut it in half, but and they can't do it live obviously.
Mm. What crowd?
Yeah, with what crowd? Exactly. That gives them a chance to edit in some crowd noise. It's funny. Poor
The
AEW.
the WWE era pandemic of crowd noise.
Yeah. Um, or like the hair dryer.
Gotta love the hair dryer.
Yeah, that's so funny. I remember when I found out about that. I was like, that's diabolical. That's actually evil.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else we want to cover here before we start to wrap it up?
Um, were you surprised that there was nothing about Cody and Cena like at all?
Not really, because I feel like next week being the last Raw before Mania, like you don't want to overexpose the feud, you know? Like you want to give it a little bit of like watch and see feel to it. I feel like next week we'll get their final interaction and then they won't see each other again until Mania cuz we have the SmackDown coming up on Friday. We have Raw, SmackDown and then WrestleMania is next weekend. So, yeah, I wasn't too surprised and I wasn't too like let down by it because I figured he's still advertised for one more Raw, right? I think that's what they said.
Uh,
Or was that last week they
I
said
mean,
that?
I don't know.
Cuz I thought after the big promo, I thought they said that he's advertised for one more. I could be wrong though. It could be that that was the last one last week. Even if it was, I think I'd still be fine with it because I don't think Cody Rhodes will immediately be done with John Cena. Maybe for like a while, but here's my like big overall like grand scheme of things prediction. John Cena's I don't want to say final match, but John Cena will lose the title later in the year back to Cody Rhodes. Like that's the official passing of the torch. I think he's going to have this big heel run until maybe later after SummerSlam and then he's gonna realize the error of his ways, and he'll lose the title back to Cody Rhodes, and then maybe his final match is against the final boss. The Rock retires
I
John
could,
Cena.
I can see that, but I feel like if there's really a match for Cena to go out on, it's probably him versus Orton.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think, well, so Randy Orton is advertised for Backlash, and Backlash is in St. Louis. So I
Hmm.
think we're gonna get John Cena versus Randy Orton immediately. Like I think they'll have a WWE Championship match at Backlash in Randy Orton's hometown. Obviously, Randy Orton's not gonna win, I don't think, but I think we're gonna see that a little bit sooner than later, and then they can move on to guys like Punk, McIntyre, even Roman Reigns again.
I could see it. I mean, it's Cena's last rodeo. I feel like they're gonna do anything that, as long as like he's okay with it. I feel like
Yeah,
Cena's up for anything.
yeah, because having a feud like that, like any of today's big stars, like that means a lot. Like if did we ever really see Drew McIntyre versus John Cena ever? I'm not entirely sure. I can't
I
remember.
don't think
I can't remember
I
off the
don't
top of
think
my head.
so.
But
I mean, unless if it was like early,
y-
like to late 2000s.
yeah, I'm not talking about like first iteration Drew McIntyre. I'm talking about like newer age Drew McIntyre. But like that's big for Drew McIntyre. I want to see
Hmm.
that just because I'll say it every week. I love Drew McIntyre. He's like my guy right now. Um, but yeah, that'll mean a lot for him. That's a big match, and I could definitely see them doing one against him. Like I said, Punk, Orton, Cody Rhodes again. I wanted to see Kevin Owens, but well,
I would
maybe.
love to see Cena go back at it with AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude. John Cena versus AJ Styles clash in Paris.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would be insane.
that would be sick. Cause imagine like the crowd for Cena, and imagine the crowd. We already know what the crowd's gonna be like for AJ Styles. It's
Hmm.
like this whole European tour. They were big for Cena. Whether it was Cena sucks or like they were singing the like John Cena sucks like that when he was coming out. Like
Hmm.
yeah, that could be fire.
I just love the European crowds and just international crowds in general.
Yeah, it sucks to admit, but like we're mid. They're so much better. They're so
Honestly,
fun
we're
to.
probably below mid.
Yeah, they're so fun to watch. It sucks. Do you think that's just a Europe thing, or do you think that would be like anywhere? Like if they went to like say like Mexico, Brazil, India, all these other countries where they like have WWE, like they have like okay, so WWE has like international Instagram pages for like each country. Like for some reason on Instagram, I follow WWE Brazil, WWE
Hmm.
India, like WWE China, like all these like random country things. If they ever go
Hmm.
there, do you think that they would get the same crowd reactions that they do in Europe?
Oh, definitely, because we saw it with Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, that's true. I feel like that was a little bit different though. Like I don't think they like did they didn't really have the same kind of like chantings though. It was kind of just like really explosively loud. I mean, obviously they sang Bad Bunny's songs, but
Yeah, I feel like it also just helps like where if you're going to like any like international place, like if you have someone from like that country, it helps a lot even more. Like I could already like imagine like a pop that Rhea Ripley would get if they had a show in Australia again.
yeah. Yeah. Well, the Perth that was Elimination Chamber last year, right? I think so.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was not a like Drew McIntyre won that chamber. I didn't even remember that. That's how he got into the match with Seth Rollins. That PLE
I
altogether was kind of forgettable. She had her match with Nia Jax. I don't remember it being too spectacular.
honestly I don't even remember really anything from that PLE.
Yeah, I don't either. Because a lot of the time, Elimination Chamber, not that it's like forgettable, but it's not one of the like big ones. Like it's not Royal Rumble, it's not SummerSlam, it's not Survivor Series, it's not WrestleMania. It's just kind of like the gimmick PLE that still exists. It's like if Extreme Rules still existed today, or like if like
Hell in a Cell.
the Hell in a Cell PLE still existed.
I feel like I feel like the Elimination Chamber doesn't get hype as it did like years ago is
Yeah.
mainly because of all the padding. Like
Yeah.
they made it like PG.
Yeah, like it was like a steel cage back then, and it was steel everywhere. And even
Hmm.
back then, it got more hype because they always had title matches inside of the Elimination Chamber. Like
Hmm.
nowadays, it's just for WrestleMania spots, but like back then you'd see like Triple H defending his world championship inside of the Elimination Chamber, or like something like that.
Hmm.
A few years ago, actually, didn't Austin Theory defend the U.S. championship inside of the Elimination Chamber? That doesn't have the same effect as like the world title with a bunch of main eventers, but
Hmm. Yeah, no, I feel like the Elimination Chamber, like a world title has to be defended. It can't be like a mid-card title.
yeah,
Or like I remember, I think it was like 2013 or 2014. It was like they had like the tag team titles defended in the Elimination Chamber. I'm like,
yeah,
that's just doing too much.
yeah. Like that's weird. Like that seems kind of forced. Like tag team elimination chamber. I remember that. Didn't New Day win that, or they
I
defended
think
the
so,
titles
yeah.
or something like that? Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like I feel like you can't do like a tag team central match. Like imagine a tag team Royal Rumble. like you have to
How would that
eliminate.
even
You
work?
have to eliminate both members for the team to be eliminated. They'd come out together. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
no,
only have like
that's
10 teams in it too.
yeah, and majority of the teams would be from SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely. Like Raw's tag division is so bad. Did you see the New Day segment on Raw where like after the match?
Yeah.
I don't think that built up anything for them going forward. Like I'm sorry, like sure they had one of the greatest heel turns I've ever seen with Big E, but
Hmm.
since then they've done like nothing, dude. Like this, I guess you can call it feud with the War Raiders for the tag titles. It feels like once again just trying to force something onto WrestleMania because they have a little bit of extra time. Like, unfortunately, nobody cares, you know? I certainly don't anyway.
I just want to know who told Kofi to go with a beard and no mustache.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. He looks like it's like so awkward. Like it's not even like partially shaved. It's just like off. It's like
Hmm.
he's wearing a chin strap.
That's what like I'm used to like Kofi with facial hair. It's just weird when it's just the beard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. He's
Like I
evil
can't
Kofi
help
now.
but notice it every time.
He doesn't look like a serious villain. He looks like why does Kofi Kingston not have a mustache? like
Well, like I can't take them seriously as heels, especially when like Xavier Woods has like all his like anime tattoos
yeah,
plastered on.
yeah, that doesn't help either. He could get like one of those like Dominic Mysterio vest things or something,
Mm.
like one of those tight latex
I,
spandex tops or whatever.
yeah. I will say their theme song is starting to grow on me.
I like it a little bit. I didn't like it at first.
I mean, it's better than the Jolly. Could you imagine if they were heels and they were still coming out to the Jolly New Day song?
Well, they were before. Like they've been heels with that theme song. I mean, that was Big E, but like
That's
that was a
true.
different kind of heel too. That was like a we're just
That was their
annoying.
initial run.
Yeah, that was like a we're just annoying and nobody likes this heel run. Now it's like we disrespected Big E. We're gonna I don't know. We're just different now, you know. So I guess yeah, I could
Hmm.
see the new music. Um, ooh, I had something to say about music. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, Naomi came out to her music for her match with was it Meechin again? Or no, it was BFAB.
I
I think it was BFAB. Hold on,
I think it was BFAB.
yeah, I have it written down here. I'm pretty sure it was BFAB, but yeah, it was BFAB. She needs new music for her new heel run, because like the old music, it's just too like the glow thing isn't even her gimmick anymore, you know.
Mm-mm. I
So
was never a fan of the glow gimmick, honestly.
I wasn't either until I saw it in person. Then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like the laser show in the stadium is a lot cooler than it is on TV. Like it fills the arena. It's everywhere, especially with this like the smoke and stuff. It is awesome.
Do
But
you remember when she made the women's title neon?
yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm kind of glad they're, I don't know if they're officially done with the gimmick or not cuz caution tape is still kind of vibrant. But I think they have to get away from that theme song. Get her something new.
Mm.
Don't Def Rebel her, but I
She's
mean
gonna get Def Rebelled.
yeah, the Glow theme is Def Rebel-y enough.
Well, I think it's like her song, like technically also, or else or am I thinking of a different song?
No, I think she sings it. It sounds like her anyway.
Yeah, I'm still convinced. Like some of these older guys saying their theme song, you can't convince me. You
Yeah.
can't convince me that the Big Show didn't say
Yeah.
"Well."
Yeah, a lot of well, the Usos still do that. I think does Jimmy sing his theme song? I know Jay does,
Yeah, but
or
I
it's
think
a
they're
very
just
good
like
impersonator.
the voiceovers, and then they just have like the music just in the background.
Yeah,
But, I mean, Def Rebel, it's kind of insane. Like they don't have like a middle ground. They have the bangers, or they're like
or they're
bottom
dog
feeders.
shit. Yeah, like what are some Def Rebel bangers?
I mean, Tribal Chief.
Tribal Chief.
Anything Bloodline, honestly.
Anything Bloodline related. Okay, I'll give you that. I didn't like Jimmy's theme at first, but now it's kind of starting to grow on me. Like the weird like piano start. Like at first I
Yeah.
was like, ugh, like what is that? And then now I'm just like, you
I
know.
feel like Jimmy's was literally like if they took Roman's and Jay's song and just combined them.
Yeah, because it has the same like beat as Romans.
Hmm.
How about Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga? They have really good themes. I love Tamatangas. The first time he debuted with his music, um, I think that was the Wilkes-Barre show we went to,
Hmm.
and it
Insane.
was really cool. Like the like bongos or whatever, like the drums with the fire shooting up.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, no, I feel God, Def Rebel, get them out of here.
Yeah, just like anybody could make anything. I could make a better song by like farting into like into like a microphone, and it would sound better than Selena Vega's new theme. Like,
Oh, they did her so
they
dirty.
did. I feel so bad because like now she has to walk out at WrestleMania if she's in this feud with Chelsea Green. Now she has to walk out at WrestleMania to that, and it's like, like it just sucks.
I feel bad that she was basically booted out of LWO.
Yeah. I kind of felt like that was a SmackDown women's mid card problem though. Like it's not like
Hmm.
LWO was like get out of here. It was like we need more women on SmackDown for this, and we want you to. It's kind of it's like a good opportunity for her, I think, because now she could kind of break off, win a title, maybe do anything else. Like I felt like she was just the mouthpiece for the LWO because none of them other than Rey Mysterio talk, and Rey
Hmm.
Mysterio's not the greatest promo either.
Yeah.
So yeah, now she gets the chance to really like still like be a mouthpiece. She's great on the mic. Like I love Zelina Vega. Whenever she says anything, she's so funny. But
Hmm.
she gets a chance to do that along with actually proving herself in the ring. Maybe she'll be the next US champion. I don't know. I kind of don't think she'll win it. Just because I think I said this last week, but the Secret Hervis gimmick is so brand new.
Hmm.
And if Chelsea Green loses the title, that just goes away because she's no longer Miss President or whatever, Miss US Champion.
Yeah, I feel like the women's divisions for both shows are just like so like lacking. Like that's why like everyone's like saying like NXT has like the best women's roster right
Yeah.
now. And it's because they have like the numbers.
Yeah, I feel like if they just pulled some of those women like up together, it would be
Hmm.
fine. And I don't know if it's because they don't have the time on episodes of Raw or SmackDown to do it, but like they have to do something. If they just introduce these women's mid cards, they have to have, a women's mid card. Like they can't have the title without it.
Hmm.
Right now, it's just non-existent, pretty much.
Yeah.
Although I'll say on Raw, it's a little bit better. Like at least you have Dakota Kai. You had Io Sky before she went and won the title here. You have Bailey.
Hmm.
Maybe you could put Becky Lynch back in the Raw mid card when she comes back. Like she doesn't immediately have to go to the main event. I don't think she'll be a nice draw for Lyra Valkyria. Um,
Hmm.
but SmackDown, I don't know. I mean, you have Naomi and Jade, but they're preoccupied at the moment. Other than that, it's
I
just
don't
it's
I
like
don't know what's going on with those two.
yeah. I mean I kind of like their feud, but they need to cut a promo like face to face against one another. Like we haven't seen really any of that yet. It's just them beating each other up, or like Jade at a backstage interview. They need to
Yeah.
like come face to face and like do something about it. Like I feel like we all knew that we were getting this feud at WrestleMania, obviously, but they announced it before either of them actually like said a word to each other. So like more has happened between Bianca Belair and Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that match is gonna be good though. That's why I think Bianca Belair is gonna win actually, because the winner of that match could like automatically has a feud for Bianca Belair next, along with Rhea Ripley. Like maybe say Bianca wins, then she's got Rhea up next, and then after that it's like say Jade wins at Mania, she's like, hey, like you didn't like how did you not know it was Naomi? Why didn't you come help me? Like something like that, or like you teamed with Naomi. I don't know, something like that.
I will say it is a little weird, like how Bianca is like the SmackDown star in this triple threat.
Yeah, because I feel like all of it's taking place on Raw anyway.
Hmm.
Like if she's a,
Like
oh, go ahead.
like I get it. Like the WWE Women's Championship's occupied between Tiffany and Charlotte, but like if you want someone in like the women's world title picture, wouldn't you want someone on Raw?
Yeah, I could see that. Who was in the Elimination Chamber? I guess it was Liv Morgan. But did we honestly want to see Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley again? Like I knew Liv Morgan wasn't going to win the Chamber, just because at the time Rhea was still champion, and I feel that Liv Morgan's title reign was tainted by Rhea Ripley almost. Like they spent most of the time just waiting for Rhea Ripley to come back, and from the time like Rhea got injured and she won the title from Becky Lynch up until Rhea returned, she didn't really defend it. I don't know at all if like or if at all. The only other title defense she had other than Rhea Ripley was Io Sky at a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, I think the issue with like Liv's title reign was when Rhea came back, they just made Liv look so weak.
I think she's been pretty up there actually lately. Like she just beat Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill hasn't been pinned yet in WWE. Liv Morgan is the first one to do it. I mean, obviously,
Oh
like
no, I mean like when Liv was like women's world champion.
oh yeah, I don't think she
It
was.
was like when she kept like running away from Rhea.
Yeah, I don't think she was a great. I don't think she had a great title reign. I think if they give her another one, she'll be much better off because now she's not caught up with Liv or with Rhea Ripley. During her title reign, though, she like she won the what was that thing at Crown Jewel? I don't even remember the like least impactful title ever.
Oh yeah. It was like the champion versus champion, like
Yeah, like that
whatever.
that weird thing that nobody liked and was stupid as hell and made no sense, but they just did it because the Saudis paid them a lot of money. Like we all kind of see right through it. I don't know how the Saudis don't see right through it. Like the Crown Jewel
Hmm.
Championship, that's what it was. But like she won that. Like she did some other stuff in her championship reign. Like obviously her work with Dominic Mysterio was pretty impactful. Like now, like she's still with Judgment Day. She's still doing things for Judgment Day. But in terms of actually being a champion, yeah, I agree. She wasn't. She wasn't great. She looked kind of weak.
Oh my God, did you catch on Raw when Adam Pearce said that Rhea was still a member of Judgment Day?
Yeah, Michael Cole immediately corrected it too. He was like, Adam Pearce is coming under the stresses here. He's given out. Rhea Ripley hasn't been associated with Judgment Day for a very long time now. But yeah, I caught that immediately. That was kind of funny.
I was like, Adam, that she's not in the faction anymore.
Yeah, aren't you the GM, dude? Haven't these people been like up your ass for like years at this point? Shouldn't you know? Shouldn't you be happy that she's not in the Judgment Day anymore?
What a Raw last night, though.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Um, I was gonna say the LWO match, but we already talked about that. We talked about pretty much almost everything that happened on Raw last night. Now that I think about it, at this point,
Yeah, I don't think anything standing out to me right now.
yeah. Um, well, I guess I'm about ready to wrap it up here. Then we've been going for little. Let me grab my thingy here. I don't want to pull it onto the screen, but yeah, it doesn't say. Never mind. I think we've been going for about 2 hours here, though. So, yeah. I don't know. You got anything else, or we good to go here?
Uh, I'm also up.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you all for listening, watching, whatever you're doing, however you're finding this podcast. Thank you all for paying attention to it. Like and subscribe for more. Like I said, squashmatchwrestling.com has officially come to its very end. I will be posting still every single week. Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, all that will be right here on YouTube or over on YouTube if you're a Spotify listener. Be sure to follow all of my social medias. I just got a TikTok account. All that is available in the graphic below, and I'll leave it in the description as well. We'll see y'all next week.